Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you played by all the rules, extended kindness, and spoke with unwavering honesty, only to be met with cunning deception, strategic manipulation, or outright betrayal? You walked into the world with an open heart, expecting reciprocity, only to witness someone less truthful, more calculating, effortlessly seize the rewards that seem to elude you. The gnawing question echoes in your mind: what did I do wrong? Prepare yourself for an uncomfortable, yet profoundly liberating, truth. The world, as it truly operates, does not inherently reward sincerity. It rewards perception, and perception, in the grand theater of human interaction, is an intricate performance. It is a meticulously crafted mask, a deliberately chosen expression, designed not to deceive, but to navigate the complex currents of power and influence. Niccolò Machiavelli, a master observer of human nature, understood this fundamental reality with chilling clarity. He did not describe how the world should be, but how it undeniably is. If you possess a genuine desire to win, to not merely survive but to thrive, then you must confront this truth directly. The world does not bestow power, it yields it to those who possess the profound insight into its mechanisms, and the unwavering will to claim it. You were taught that being honest, open, and kind would naturally bring rewards. You were told that good things happen to good people. But life is not a fairy tale. And the sooner you wake up to this, the sooner you reclaim your power. If you continue clinging to these old ways of thinking, you will consistently find yourself vulnerable and hurt. Consider the common emotional pain points that plague so many individuals in their daily lives. You consistently offer your authentic self, perhaps revealing your vulnerabilities, to foster deeper connections, only to find that your openness is exploited, your pain collected and used as leverage for control. You patiently await recognition for your intrinsic worth, for the depth of your inner world, while others are meticulously sculpting their outward appearance, their tone, their entire demeanor to command attention and influence. You might share too much, too soon, mistaking vulnerability for a pathway to connection, only to discover that you have inadvertently handed your power away. This is a harsh lesson, one not found in textbooks or comforting platitudes, but forged in the crucible of experience and pain. The stark reality is that not everyone around you values your honesty. Some are exclusively focused on what they can extract from it, for their own advantage. This scenario extends beyond personal interactions, permeating the professional and social spheres. You may find yourself holding back in meetings, possessing crucial insights, and the unvarnished truth, yet remaining silent as a louder, less informed individual seizes the spotlight, and the influence that should rightfully be yours. Your silence, intended as thoughtfulness, can be misinterpreted as weakness. Your genuine kindness, an admirable trait, can be mistaken for a lack of strength, leading others to take you for granted. You are right, but your hesitant posture conveys doubt, causing your dismissal. These are not mere anecdotes, they are deeply ingrained psychological patterns, the human tendency to judge by symbols and surface impressions, rather than delving into true substance. The world operates on impressions, and in this environment, perception swiftly becomes reality. Machiavelli's profound wisdom reveals that life is not a moral fable where virtue is unfailingly rewarded. Instead, it is a strategic game, where effectiveness reigns supreme. And effectiveness, he argued, often necessitates a deep understanding of power, manipulation, fear, perception, and even deception. This is the uncomfortable truth that most people instinctively recoil from, but for those courageous enough to truly examine it, it holds the potential to transform their lives. Machiavelli did not advocate for evil, he advised leaders on how to be effective, how to survive, and ultimately, how to win. This requires an intimate understanding of human nature in its rawest, most unfiltered form, not the idealized version presented on social media, but the primal instincts that govern behavior, when no one is observing. This is the wellspring of true power, the ability to anticipate behavior, to steer outcomes, to control perception, and to artfully bend situations to your advantage. A pivotal insight from Machiavelli is that it is not necessary to possess all virtues, but merely to appear as though you do. This may sound cynical, even manipulative, but consider its resonance with our everyday actions, the forced smile at work despite exhaustion, the automatic "I am fine" when your world is crumbling, the hidden fears to protect a loved one. These are all forms of masks. Not all masks are deceptive, some are essential shields, others are mirrors reflecting back what others wish to see, and many are simply tools of survival. The lion, in its raw power, wears no mask, displaying its might without reservation. Yet, the fox, with its innate cunning, survives by employing a multitude of them. In a world that frequently punishes rawness, it is not always the strongest who endures, but often the most emotionally intelligent, the most adaptable. Therefore, the question is not whether you should wear a mask, but rather, which mask serves you best, and when. You cannot dictate how the world perceives you, but you can meticulously control what they are permitted to see. Machiavelli believed that honesty without discernment can be your undoing. Opening up prematurely, sharing too much, too soon, can provide others with leverage against you. This is the genesis of emotional self-mastery, not in unreservedly pouring out every truth, but in a profound understanding of the cost of truth, the peril of speaking excessively, of trusting too hastily, and of revealing yourself too deeply. Honesty without boundaries is not a strength, it is a surrender. True authenticity is not reckless impulsivity, it is an intentional, conscious choice, a knowing when to articulate your truth, and when silence serves as its superior protector. The wisest figures throughout history were slow to speak, not because they were concealing something sinister, but because they were calculating with meticulous care, recognizing that every truth has its opportune time and place, and not every ear is deserving of hearing it. Furthermore, Machiavelli deeply valued adaptability. He did not admire the most righteous, but the most adaptable, recognizing that life rewards the prepared, not necessarily the pure. We often fear adaptation, mistakenly conflating it with betrayal or inconsistency. However, is a tree fake for swaying with the wind, or a river weak for flowing around a stone instead of through it? They are simply wise enough to endure. You are not only permitted but required to evolve. The person you were in one season may not possess the necessary attributes to survive the next. The very tools that once safeguarded you might now impede your progress. Adaptation is not an abandonment of your core principles, it is a strategic update to your methodology. It is the innate wisdom to know when to pivot, when to retreat, when to lead with silent strength rather than overt force, and when to disengage from a conflict you once would have impulsively entered. To adapt, one must release the need for external consistency, a quality often worshipped by those who fear growth. Why remain stagnant if it compromises your peace, diminishes your power, or forfeits your position in a world perpetually rewriting its own rules? You do not need to fundamentally alter who you are, but you must master the art of strategic movement. The lion asserts its dominance in open terrain, but the fox navigates the world by skillfully moving within shifting shadows. Survival is not about maintaining a singular facade, it is about the astute knowledge of when to adjust, when to release, and when to transform into something entirely new. Adaptation is not a weakness, it is profound wisdom embodied in fluid motion, and those who master it do not merely survive, they powerfully and unapologetically thrive. The duality of the lion and the fox is central to Machiavellian thought. He did not demand a choice between the two, but rather urged the integration of both. Strength alone can intimidate, but cunning ensures survival. Power without a guiding strategy is merely chaotic noise, and strategy devoid of inherent strength is easily disregarded. We inhabit a world that penalizes naivete, where directness untempered by tact is quickly crushed, and cleverness lacking courage never dares to act. Therefore, if you have ever felt caught between being too blunt or too cautious, understand that you were never destined to be one or the other, you were meant to evolve into both. The lion within you is the resolute voice that declares enough, asserting your worth, standing tall, fighting back, and speaking with certainty. However, the lion can be predictable, easily identified and targeted. This is precisely where the fox emerges. The fox represents your acute ability to intuitively assess a room, without uttering a single word, to detect subtle shifts in tone, fleeting glances, and hesitations. It is your inherent instinct to exercise patience, to meticulously plan, and to recognize that strategic retreat can often be the most potent form of power. Mastery lies in achieving this delicate balance. You require the lion's fire to establish firm boundaries, but you also need the fox's quiet vigilance to discern the unfolding games before they even begin. Stop reacting. Start reflecting. This is the cornerstone of a strategic mindset. When confronted with a challenging situation, pause. Instead of an immediate emotional response, ask yourself, What did this situation awaken in me? What internal trigger was activated? This reflective pause allows you to detach from the immediate emotional impact and gain clarity. Your emotions can be disciplined, your fear masked with poise. By understanding the internal mechanics, you prevent others from using your predictable reactions against you. True power begins with self-mastery, rendering you unreadable and, consequently, unmanipulable. Do not argue with the mask. In a world where perception is paramount, people often present a carefully constructed facade. Instead of engaging with their words, or their projected persona, focus intently on their underlying behavioral patterns. Observe what they do, not just what they say. People often speak with masks on, but with trained eyes and keen listening, you can discern the truth beneath the disguise. This legal mindset approach emphasizes evidence and consistent actions over fleeting declarations. Understanding that most people operate from a place of self-interest, rather than pure virtue, allows you to anticipate their moves and protect your own position. Boundaries are clarity. Honesty without boundaries is not a strength, it is a surrender. Learn the power of a clear, unapologetic no. Walk away from situations that do not serve your strategic objectives, without feeling the need for extensive explanations. The truth, when wielded effectively, is a weapon to be deployed with precision, not a confessional to be emptied indiscriminately. The Machiavellian mind understands that what you conceal often protects you, while what you prematurely reveal can be used to weaken you. Your truth is sacred, and not everyone merits access to it. Power is detachment. Observe the chaos and drama of others, but consciously refuse to absorb it. Emotional detachment allows you to remain centered in your strategy, immune to the reactive noise that derails most. While others are panicking, a Machiavellian mind remains calm, calculating, and opportunistic. When the world scrambles, you organize. When others react, you observe. This is precisely when power can be seized, not in moments of stability, but in the midst of instability. Your focus allows you to execute long-term plays, while others chase immediate validation. Silence is a shield. Document. Move strategically. Strategic silence is an underappreciated form of power. When you speak less, your words inherently gain more weight and influence. Holding your tongue can pique curiosity and transform mystery into a formidable weapon. You do not need to reveal your entire strategy to be effective, you need to execute it in ways that leave others bewildered by your success. This approach is not about making noise, but about making decisive moves. While others are talking and seeking attention, your work should speak so profoundly that your triumph is unforeseen, until it is an undeniable reality. Patience, in the Machiavellian sense, is not passivity, it is calculated stillness on the exterior, coupled with meticulous observation and calculation within. You are not waiting, you are studying. When the opportune moment arrives, you do not seek permission, you act decisively. Let us consider a mini case demonstrating the power of silence. Imagine you are in a high-stakes negotiation at work. Your counterpart has just laid out their aggressive demands, and the room is tense. Your initial instinct might be to immediately counter, to defend your position, with a barrage of facts and figures. However, a Machiavellian mind understands the power of strategic silence. Instead of speaking, you pause. You maintain eye contact, perhaps nod slowly, but you offer no immediate verbal response. This silence shifts the dynamic. Your counterpart, expecting an immediate reaction, becomes uncomfortable. They might start to fill the void with more information, perhaps revealing their weaknesses, or true bottom line. They might even begin to negotiate against themselves. Your stillness communicates confidence, control, and a mind that is calculating, not reacting. By staying silent, you force them to show more of their hand, allowing you to gather crucial insights and then, and only then, respond with precision and maximum impact, achieving a far better outcome than if you had reacted impulsively. In the realm of perception, remember that appearance frequently outweighs substance, not because reality is unimportant, but because people seldom look beyond the surface. If you exude confidence, strategy, and control, others will assume you possess these qualities, and their behavior will adapt accordingly. This is why effective leaders dedicate more effort to managing perception than to merely defending their intentions. Your image serves as your armor, and your reputation is either your most potent weapon or your gravest vulnerability. To achieve victory, you must master the art of controlling what others see, even if it entails concealing your true intentions. Build your reputation slowly, reinforce it consistently, and defend it ruthlessly. You cannot control whether people judge you, but you can profoundly influence the criteria by which they do. Underestimation as an advantage, the greatest strategic advantage one can possess is being underestimated. When others do not perceive you as a threat, their defenses are lowered. This creates the ideal window for observation, for maneuvering without resistance, and for building your influence quietly and effectively. It allows you to focus on the long game, while others remain entangled in short-term noise and distractions. You are not reactive. You are rooted. Their chaos is not yours to absorb. You possess the innate instincts of both, the lion and the fox within you. The world may never commend your honesty, or acknowledge your silent sacrifices, but that is irrelevant. What truly matters is that you will know you navigated life with intelligence, made choices with resolute purpose, and lived with your eyes wide open. This self-awareness, this quiet, grounded power, enables you to sculpt your life not from a place of fear, or a need for external validation, but from deep alignment with your strategic intent. If this profound reflection resonated deeply within you, if it compelled you to pause, to think, and to truly feel, then this space is for you. This channel is dedicated to asking the uncomfortable, yet essential, questions, to trading superficiality for profound depth, and knee-jerk reaction for considered reflection. So, if you are prepared to perceive the world, and yourself with sharper insight, and to establish stronger boundaries, subscribe, join this circle, and let us embark upon the path of quiet, strategic power together. Remember, as Machiavelli might articulate if he were alive today, the world does not freely grant power. It yields it, inexorably, to those who comprehend its true nature, and possess the unwavering resolve to claim it. Stay focused. Stay sharp. Remain unseen until your results render you utterly impossible to ignore.